Well, hello again, everybody. This is Fist-25, and we are back for another ship review. In preparation for patch 315 coming in, I figured I'd better get on some of the ships that are a little more pricey, and it's going to take a while for me to rebuy in the game. So we're going to do a ship review on one of the biggest ships in the game, the MISC Starfarer and the Starfarer Gemini. So right now we are here at Riker Memorial Spaceport on Area 18, and we are going to make our way down to the ASOP terminal. Now, we're going to get on this ship, and we're going to have to get on it and get over to the bridge as soon as possible and take off, because Area 18 is a little impatient, and they will store our ship. So it's just something we have to do. We have to get out of there pretty quick, but we will definitely go over the ship. So I was flying this ship earlier into Area 18, and that was a little bit of a harrowing experience. And I don't know. I really love the concept of this ship, but I definitely think it needs some work. So we're going to make our way down to Hangar 7. So to prepare us for the Starfarer, the MISC Starfarer is a refueling platform that can also act as a fuel transporter, collector, and refinery. They are able to collect hydrogen fuel from stars and extrasolar resources, refine them, and then refuel other ships in flight. The Starfarer is able to dock with and refuel many different divisions of Starship thanks to its docking mechanisms. And you see how gigantic this ship looks. I mean, it doesn't look as big from the front, but it is from the back. And I mean, it looks like a giant Cylon from Battlestar Galactica. And you see I've done some customizations. I put some attritions on here for our pilot weapons, but I mean, this is a humongous ship. I can't even go that way. Wow. I mean, the exterior tour here is not going to take too long because we're here at ArcCorp, but look at those giant fueling pods there. I mean, just a humongous ship. It's actually, there's so many cool things about it. That platform right there, right up there, that's like a catwalk that we can actually go out to in space, and that's how in the future we're going to be able to refuel. But there is only one way to enter this ship, and that is through the ramp, pretty much at midships, and you got to open this door. So the ramp comes down, the railings come up, and this is, other than the docking port, this is the only way onto the ship. So we're going to close the door right here with this button. Boom, there we go. That is a really cool animation. So now we're in the cargo bay of the Starfarer, and yes, the lights are on because I landed the ship earlier and I didn't turn it off. But as you can see, there's really only two ways to go. This way, which is the right way, and this way, which looks like it should be the right way to get to the bridge, but it's not. It is the wrong way. If we go through this door, you see it's the airlock access, and basically it takes us all the way up to here. This door normally closes. But there is the docking port, and you can't get out either way on that side. So that's really the only purpose of this area, and we're probably not going to go back here again. But I guess you could put a bunch of boxes and cargo in there. We're going to go the right way, which is to the right side. And we'll come back to the cargo bay in a little bit. I just got to get out of ArcCorp here before they stow my ship. So the layout of the ship is a little bit strange. It does take some getting used to. It's just a a little bit of the layout just doesn't really make sense. Here's a good point of reference. You can see the door to open to the cargo bay, and you can see this screen. This, the ESC-01 Escape 01, this is the bridge in front of you. It is not on the top decks. It is in the middle of the ship, and you'll come in and you'll see 6 different escape pods in here. And then we will come onto the bridge. We are not going to sit in the Star Trek captain seat right here. We're not going to sit there because you can't fly from there like you could kind of on the Carrack. You have to enter the pilot's seat. This is where we can fly from. So, like I said, a little bit different. Okay. So systems are on. Like I said, everything is charged up, you know, because I basically just left this ship and I just refueled it. And I had to grab the incredibly expensive paints for the ship for the video. So we are going to ask Area 18 to launch us out. And you can see from the back just how big this ship is. They have 3 massive engines on the back and those fuel pods right there. It has that crazy MISC spoiler, very MISC looking. There really is no purpose for that. I don't think. Maybe we get some extra downforce in atmosphere, which is not something we actually probably want, but we're going to hit space bar, and you see it has a little bit of trouble releasing, so we're going to get a little bit of afterburner, and it does come up. Not a very fast ship, as you can imagine, because it is so big. And I'm just holding spacebar, so this is just normal fuel consumption. There's no afterburner on this. If I do hit afterburner, you see me come up about twice as fast. And so here we are up above our landing area. Beautiful day at Area 18. You can see our forward landing gear right there and what's giving us our upward thrust. I'm going to go ahead and cycle the landing gear. And it retracts into the ship. Very nice, very smooth.
Thank you. Please visit again.
The guy always interrupts. Okay, so this is the Starfarer. Let's get some forward thrust going here. Very quiet right now. We'll give it a little more juice. There we go. The view, one of my biggest complaints about this particular ship, I know it's a MISC ship, but it is the lack of view from first person while you're flying. I mean, you do have a very good panorama here, but there's no sunroof, there is no bottom to it. So pretty much when I'm in atmosphere, I'm using drone camera to fly around. Because the last thing you want to do is run into these buildings and blow up your ship. So, what can I tell you as we are headed out of the atmosphere here about the MISC Starfarer? It is the purpose of the ship is a heavy refueling ship, right? It is your tanker. This version, the civilian version of it is, you know, you're going to go get missions one day of people who need gas and basically hydrogen fuel, not necessarily quantum fuel. And you're gonna go up to them and you're gonna refuel them. That will play a much larger part when we get Pyro, because Pyro is so vast and so big that there's going to be people running out of fuel all the time. So hopefully the mechanic for in-flight refueling is going to be available by the time Pyro releases. The crew of this ship is, you can do it with one person. You really can, but really it's about 1 to 7. There is a captain of the ship as well, because there is a specific captain's room, an office, and a captain's seat. So I think that's kind of cool. That's kind of important. The ship size is large. It does have a really large cargo capacity of 291 standard cargo units, which is the exact same right now for the Starfarer Gemini as well. This ship came out in patch 2.3, I believe, which was sometime in 2016. You can buy it in game for about 6.6 million alpha UEC. You can rent it for about 133,000 alpha UEC a day, or 66,000 rec. It does take about 36 minutes to claim it, with a 6-minute expedite time, and it costs about 9,000 credits to expedite it. There are time-limited sales for the Starfarer. It's not available all the time, but it does go for about $300 US when it is available to buy. Some history of the Starfarer is that it came about as a result of an 18-month survey of space travel, which resulted in a 15,000-page study on ship roles and the current shortcomings faced by space pilots that concluded with the decision to produce a spacecraft capable of fuel collection, refining, and storage. And distribution to other ships in flight. Basically, people needed ways to get gas in space. Preceding this craft, the role was filled by a number of reverse engineered and retrofitted craft, notorious for being dangerous and ineffective. This has led to a pirate rule of thumb that a ship caught refueling could be captured intact, as no captain would ever risk a firefight breaking out on a refueling ship, right? The safety and ease of use of these crafts have seen them become the standard for space refueling, with many being upgraded with refining mechanisms that can refine collected fuel ready for use. Another modification available to the Starfarer pilots is the modification of the fuel tanks to become liquid foodstuff storage units, which is these big tanks on the back here. A final upgrade allows the fuel tanks to be swapped out altogether to be replaced by a cargo chassis for goods transport. However, this has proven unpopular compared to the versatile Freelancer and the specialized hull series. So I don't think this really compares with the Freelancer. It has way more cargo than even a Freelancer Max. I mean, we're talking almost triple. And I think as far as fuel efficiency wise, it's fine. I do like the chrome skin on the base Starfarer. Not that I don't like the militarized skin on the Starfarer Gemini, which we'll see later on in the video. But I kind of like, MISC has this little kind of chrome Cylon looking deal here, and I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. It looks very much like a Freelancer from the front, and a little bit on the back as well. This will be our thumbnail here. We'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead, and right now we'll take an exterior tour of the Starfarer. As we saw earlier, walking around, it's got 3 massive engines in the back, and it's got that catwalk here, which you'll be able to go out there while in space, and we're gonna do that here. Oh, you can see Big Genie Point out there in the distance. Let's head towards it, as long as we don't run into it. But again, very much like the Freelancer type of setup here. Of course, a little bit different because it has to be a lot more massive, but it has these 8 huge fuel pods that it uses to store fuel and distribute it to people in need of fuel. It has in the back, it's kind of hard to see. I guess it has three turrets, and they're all manned turrets. So you can see there's one of them straight ahead of us, and the other one is right there. Those face kind of towards the back and down. They have a very limited fire arc. The other turret is up here on the top, and it's actually the biggest turret. It is a size 4 on the regular Starfarer. So it has size 4 guns, and these I believe are also size 4 guns, which are pilot controlled. And on the Gemini, that is a size 5 turret. So those are the biggest guns on the Gemini. And the Gemini also has and you'll see it has a module on the front which allows it to shoot missiles. And you could actually put that on the regular Starfarer if you want. I'm not sure where you would buy that, but you could do that, but normally the base Starfarer kind of comes with this. I think it's called a fuel. It's like it has to do with fuel, and it's a special thing just for refueling. We'll look into the ship description to check that out. Looking around, obviously the cockpit is very freelancer like, and as we kind of come around the side, that's where it ends, and it comes into these huge compartments where we got our retro thrusters there, we got our intakes there. The ship is actually, I believe it's like 3 stories. You have the cargo bay where we entered from, where you go upstairs to hit basically mid decks. It might be 4 stories. And that's where you can get to the bridge from the catwalk of the cargo bay, and then you can go up from there. And there's some walkways in there, and then you can actually go up from there. And there's even more walkways in there. There is a whole living space and everything like that. So there's a lot to take into account for the Starfarer here. As we get closer to Big Genie Point, let's go ahead and we did the exterior tour here. Let's do a cockpit tour, because the interior tour of the ship is going to be very long. So the cockpit tour, it's a basic yoke like any other MISC ship here. These buttons don't have any real interactability. We do have a 3D radar right here. We have no, that's the HUD. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 multifunction displays, and then there's kind of one over here as well. It does do stuff, it displays stuff, but you don't really have much of a view. So who knows if those will actually work one day. So I guess you could bring up like your power and stuff like that. All the way to the left is exit, and I believe all the way to... no, you can't do it to the right. Over here on the right-hand side, we have open exterior and press to unlock. What else do we got? Over here is our power button on the left-hand side under the multifunction display. There's our exit. There's some lights up here. There's like some circuit breakers and switches up here, but they don't really do anything. At least not right now. So I think that's pretty much it. It's very basic. This ship came out in 2.3, and it hasn't really had a lot of updates since then, especially to its layout. And I mean, why would it? It's going to be, worked on when it actually has a use, right? Other than just a cargo ship right now. Okay, so that is the cockpit tour. Let's go ahead and exit our seat, and we're gonna look at the cool window view here. We'll do a quick cockpit tour here, starting from the rear. Now you can see coming into the cockpit, you have a support seat on the right and a support seat on the left. These are very basic support seats, so these are going to be your, like I would say, like a comm officer or a science officer or something like that. They would just support any type of bridge operations. There is a co-pilot seat in here. Because this particular ship does not have any missiles on it, there really is no real function for the co-pilot right now. But I will say, you turn on the co-pilot seat from the far right. It took me a while to find that. And power off and exit. And other than that, that's really no point for the co-pilot unless you wanted to use comms or something like that. Because there's no missiles in this ship. I think in the Starfarer, you'll be able to do missile operator mode. Now, the coolest part about this entire bridge right here, which I may need to adjust our course right quick, make sure we don't hit Big Genie Point. Then we'll just alter it right there. is that the coolest part about the bridge is that there is a captain's seat. Now the captain doesn't really have a lot of functions from his seat, but I mean, it's cool that there's a captain to command this ship. And that's something we don't see very often in Star Citizen ships. But we are seeing them in the bigger ships, right? The captain is not the pilot. He's the captain, right? So what the captain can do, by the way, you turn on the captain, it doesn't have to be him. It could be her. But you turn on the captain's panel here from the right side here. Power off, exit. There's really no other stuff there that they can do. They can switch these screens around. I think. Maybe not. No. But they do have a one virtual multifunction display here, which if I were to hit power right here, it would shut off the ship. So there is some functionality to it. They can look at weapons. They can look at... man, it says we have 5 missiles. I don't think we have 5 missiles. I'm pretty sure we don't have 5 missiles. I could be wrong, guys. I am not an expert in this ship by any means, but I'm pretty sure we don't. See, it's not even showing us that we have any guns. Well, that's probably because we're in the pilot seat. So just to double check, we might be learning as we're filming here. Let me enter the pilot seat if it'll let me. Let me turn on missile operator mode. Yeah, see, we have regular guns here, but I don't have a missile operator mode. So yeah, whatever that was saying, it was actually wrong. So, but you know, we're used to bugs and stuff on in Star Citizen, right? This is Star Citizen after all. Let's go through the middle of Bikini Point. What do you guys think? I think that's a cool shot right there. Starfarer going, look how small our shadow was. Going through the middle of Bikini Point. As we are we're headed back to ArcCorp right there, but we're not really going to back to ArcCorp. Okay, so I think that's enough of the cockpit tour. Let's kind of do this a little bit in reverse. Let's get on the ship like we were just getting on the ship, if that makes sense. And we will work it from basically the cargo bay down. Or I'm sorry, the cargo bay up, as we kind of explore the ship as we're just kind of flying through space here. Which I may have just... I think I just might have messed that one up. Well, that's how we get to the back. We're gonna do that in a minute. So see, I'm still confused about the ship. There is a stairwell. There it is. There's our stairwell. Okay, so we come into the ship from these doors. And then we have this huge cargo area, which we know we're going to be able to fit some vehicles in here. You cannot fit a tank or a ballista in here, but you can fit any other ground vehicle in here comfortably, right? The layout of the ship is actually really confusing for me. It has some signage, but it's not very good signage. So I think that needs to be part of the rework. I do like the concept here of this huge cargo bay with the catwalks up top where people can kind of oversee what's going on in the cargo bay. They do have some jump seats here, so I guess there's definitely going to be some oxygen for the possible 12 people in the jump seats. I'm not 100% sure. Some kind of tubing here that lets probably fuel transfer, something like that. We've already been to this area up here where there's just the docking collar. As far as I know, this ship is not big enough to do ship to station docking, but it will do ship to ship docking one day when that technology is here. So guys, this is the cargo bay, and like I said, you gotta do everything from this. I'm not sure what manual control that is, but you pretty much have to do everything from this door, this one right side door. So we're going to go up this ladder well here, and we're going to kind of come into this orange area. Now, if you come out this first right door, this will lead you to the catwalk. Now, there's a number of spots where you can traverse the ship from left to right. And this is kind of one of them, these catwalks here. But what we're going to do, well, here, this is the way I get to the bridge, right? I come through this catwalk. By the way, there is multiple entrances to the upper levels, this ladder, and the ladder, you probably can't see it. There's another ladder right over here that leads to the level above that. But if we go this way, we can get to the bridge, which is through that hatch right there. But if you were not to do that, if we were not to hit the catwalk at this point, and we were to come in from our ladder well and go straight, if we head to the back, we will see the outside, right here. And I don't like how this door doesn't automatically close. That is an airlock, really. So now, guys, we can see that we are actually outside in space, in the refueling section. There's a lift right here. There's a lift right here, which we're going to use later. That brings you from the upper levels down to the refueling platform here. And the refueling platform is a catwalk. And so there's different stations here that I'm sure you can either do some kind of engineering or monitor the fuel cell over here. I'm not sure exactly where you would operate the boom to deliver the fuel from. These look more like maintenance stations or something like that, but who knows? Maybe you could. We have one for each pod, so there's 8 stations, but it's just really kind of neat to be out here in space right under this gigantic engine. What could go wrong? And there's a railing, and we saw Bikini Point was out there earlier, and now it's out of view with ArcCorp here behind us. So let's get kind of a wide angle here if we can. I want to show you just the scope and the size of this ship with us being out here, and how small and insignificant we are compared to the size of this ship. I mean, it's a big beast. So we're here on the back of the catwalk on the outside, and as we kind of pan around, we see just how big this ship is compared to the size of our avatar here. So that's a really cool thing we can do. No other ship really has as far as I know, has a catwalk that lets us do that. So we're going to go back inside this airlock door here, and we're going to close it behind us because that's realism. So we're actually right in the middle of the ship, but we're facing aft, right? Because right below us is the ramp for the cargo area. So we're going to keep on going. There's not a whole lot of interactable stuff in there. It does note that, I know this is an airlock and you can leave that open, and there are doors on each side, right? So I guess you wouldn't suck out all the atmosphere of the ship and all the oxygen. As this door opens, we get on the other side of the catwalk. And the way I try to orientate myself is this door here, and then the bridge door here is the front of the ship. And then if you kind of figure out where that is, or at least where the cargo bay door is, you'll know the front and the rear of the ship. Oh my God, what was that? What just happened to the ship? Someone might have started shooting us. I don't know. Feels like we ran into something. As we make our way along the port side cargo catwalk, there's no door on this side or anything like there is on the other one, but it'll lead us up towards this area where if we go to the right, hey, we could go to the bridge. Oh, we're being shot at. Who Oh my gosh, who is shooting us? I wonder if this is a pirate and if we're just gonna get our in-person dogfighting happening right here. It is a pirate. And they're not, I don't think they're very smart taking us on. See, the ship does not move very well for dogfighting purposes, obviously, because it is a refueling ship. But we might as well get this part in the video right now because it just happened by chance. 4 attrition 4s on this guy, and he's a smaller fighter. And he went real quick, and you can see he pretty much did absolutely no damage to us. So that's what that noise was, folks. We'll still do a dogfighting mission, but okay. So let's keep. So sorry for the break in the tour there. I guess that stuff happens. So where were we? We were coming, and we were on this side, I believe, and we just came in and we saw the bridge from the port side. Now, if we were to go port side this way and keep going towards the port side, we see the next set of stairs that leads us up one more level. So now we're on the basically 3rd level. As you come into the 3rd level, you have a little bit of signage. You see that it says living quarters here, maintenance over here, and cargo going down the stairs. So let's go towards the maintenance area. By the way, this is one of the crossways you can cross. By the way, living quarters is that way as well. You can cross midships right here as it allows you to. So we're going to go to the maintenance hatch here. You see there's a lot of space here. There's a lot of empty space here. I mean, I know these things have a purpose and stuff, but still, just a lot of empty space. If there is these kind of weird maintenance hatches we can go through, we see a lot of piping and the ductwork. This one right here has almost no purpose for me. I mean, we can't tear anything up and go anywhere, so not sure what the point of that one is. The other one, there's another one coming up, and that one's a little different. We can see there's some more escape pods back here as we head towards the maintenance area. We're going to keep going straight back. As we go back, there's another little maintenance area, or whatever it is right here, another little access point, which again doesn't do anything. Here we have a nice little window where we can kind of see the refueling pods right there. It's actually a pretty cool view. And as we head, there's our other turret right there. As you can tell, we're heading back towards one of the rear turrets. So this, I believe this is the port side rear turret. And we'll go ahead and hop into it so you guys can see kind of what that looks like. We're going to flip upside down because we are actually pointed downwards. I have Panther 337s on this guy. I believe the right here is the power button. All right. You can help us by helping us kill pirates. So you see, this is one of our turrets. It's got quite a lot of ammo. You can see us moving around back there, but not a huge range here because of its position on the ship. Right. So it's really good for, you know, for pursuing attackers. And there's the other turret right there. The bigger turret that's on the top is much better as far as range goes. I guess really range of motion would be, you know, it's field of fire. It would be much better for that. Okay, so let's head on out of the turret. Now the other side, the other turret over there is exactly the same type of hallway and layout. I'm just not sure what the space is for right here. It's again some weird unused spaces on the ship. At this point, we could cross over here and notice that there's like this little hallway and there's nothing here. Like, I'm not sure what the space is for. More unused space on the Starfarer. We do have a little window into basically what is some kind of a, looks like some kind of weird engine room. This is the, what I think is the gravity generator for the entire ship. It looks a lot like the gravity generator on the 890 jump, so that's what I'm assuming it is. When you do Starfarer recognitions, this could be a point to help you figure out where you're at in the ship, because obviously, looking at the gravity generator, this is the port side, this is the starboard side, and this guy up front is the front side. Now, we're heading forward to the ship. Now, this area right here, there's nothing you can really do with these doors, so I'm not sure what the deal is with these doors. We're going to call these lifts up here. And these, if you remember when we were outside on the catwalk, these are actually the catwalk lifts. So if we use this lift, it'll take us straight down to the catwalk, and we could do whatever we had to do down here. Then we could call the lift, and it'll bring us right back up into this same room. So that's pretty neat, I think. Feels like it's depressurized, so I'm going to close that door, and we're going to head on over to the starboard side from the little gravity generator. Now, if we go out this door, we go in this door. This is the only way into this room because this way is a window. I'm not sure if this is just like the main engine right here. This is what it looks like. Looks like this would be some kind of maintenance for the main engine. So, yeah, there's really nothing we can do or interact with in here. If we head outboard and we go down this long hallway, all the way down on that end is the other turret. Notice there is no signage for that. Okay. Enough of the back part of the ship there on this deck, on this third deck. Again, there's, on this side, on the starboard side, you can actually go prone in this area. And this is kind of part of the Starfarer derelict missions. You can actually go through this little maintenance area. And if you remember down from the bottom, on the right side of the bridge, there was that ladder, and I kind of zoomed in and I said, there's another ladder. Here is the other ladder. We will see that one again. We're not going to go up it right now. But there is a door right here. Hey, and this door kind of opens, you know, as we head aft. That's where we just went in. And here's that door. So this is where we crossed MIG ships earlier. So now we're on the starboard side. We're going to head towards the living quarters. Now, this way, going to the living quarters, there is lift access. So we're going to hop on here, and we're going to use our elevator to go up. Notice there is a ladder right here. And that ladder will... Sounds like there's a ship there. Oh, someone's shooting us. Oh my gosh. Okay. How come I get interrupted in like every tour I do? It's really odd. Okay, hopefully it's a pirate and it's not a player. I'm getting better at navigating this ship, I think. Come on. I should have gotten the turret. That's what I should have done. Okay, come on. Let me in the pilot seat. Okay, they've taken some of our back shields off. That is definitely a pirate. And I have a torque imbalance now. Nice. Looks like it's in a Eclipse, maybe? He's using ballistics here. Oh, this thing turns so slow. You gotta be on point with your shots here. Boom! There he goes. What is with all the pirates in ArcCorp space right now? I'm just not sure what's going on. Sorry for the second intrusion into that, folks. But we will go back to where we were. This actually gives us an opportunity to go ahead and use that ladder. I hope you're familiar with getting to the bridge now. I think the ladder, is it out here? Yeah, it's out here. So we'll go ahead and use this ladder, show that off. And we hop into this like maintenance area here where that other ladder was. No, I didn't want to go on that. Okay. Okay, now we'll go into the living quarters from the starboard side. We will go ahead and call our... Oh, we got to call the lift over here. We will take our lift up. Okay, so now we're about to go into the living quarters. And most of the time I would suspect people would take this door. Now, this door is the... it's the other side. So you'd take the other, there's an elevator on each side, but I would imagine most people would take this side. A good way to orientate yourself is, okay, from this lift, this is the top turret. The top turret, the way I'm facing right now, is directly front of the ships, forward. So this space and how it's aligned in here, it's a little weird to me. Because it's not, north, south, east, west. It's not even like half cardinal directions. But we'll go ahead and hop into this turret. So I guess if like everybody's eating and all of a sudden there's a pirate attack, we could hop into this turret, and if we need to, we could use these big size 4s on here. So as you can see, a lot more field of view to fire from as long as it's on the top of the ship. So that is the top turret, everybody. Right next to the living quarters and the galley, pretty much. So I like to, like I said, I like to orientate myself with the turret, knowing that this is a lift and that is a lift on either side of it. So if that makes sense, this is forward of the ship. This is directly forward. Starboard side, port side. Saying that, going directly back of us is the galley and the mess hall. So it feels weird because there's no one here, but this is a rather large galley. Nothing is interactable here, but you can see we have, a place to cook our meals, and there's going to be a sink, and all that stuff is going to be there. And then there's a place for everybody to eat and kind of hang out. It's very Spartan. It's very, very sparse. It does have a cool skylight up here, though, so you can't see space from here. But it's just, there's no signs of life right here. That's what gets me. And the other part that gets me here is right off of the main mess hall is the captain's quarters. You can see that they removed the chair, which should be right there, but like this is the captain's office basically right here. And this is where he would, do his captaining. But over here is his bed, which has really funny sheets. There used to be a really big bug with sleeping in the captain's quarters right there. The captain has a little viewport out the port side, and he has a very open toilet, because it's still a toilet that doesn't move, and then there's a shower head up here. So I guess he has to kind of straddle the toilet to use the shower. It's very, very weird. There is no 3 seashells here, though. So, and he has his own sink and everything, but he's pretty much naked. So if anybody's looking out that porthole, you're going to see the captain out here showering. And the other thing is, like, why the captain, it's not a submarine. Why would the captain have his quarters right next to the galley? And the galley and the mess hall is usually one of the loudest parts of the ship. And me as a captain, I would constantly be telling people, shut up, I'm trying to sleep, whatever. But it's just kind of odd. And it's also very Spartan. It does not look lived in at all. It's very, very hygienic. If we go on to the port side right here from this door, you'll see the rest of the crew's living quarters. They have their own little portholes into space. As you can see, it's like There's 6 beds. It's very open bay barracks type, like very hoorah Marine Corps. Let's all sleep right next to each other. We don't even have a foot locker type of space. I mean, it's there and it's a bed, and yeah, it's there. And then the other thing that gets me, there's 7 crew members. There's 2 bathrooms. And the bathrooms, you know, it's again a toilet that doesn't retract and a sink, and there's a men's and a women's room. But it's, I don't know, it's just kind of odd. You would think there'd be more bathrooms here, and then there's like little waiting areas where you can wait for someone else to finish showering. Just kind of weird to me. That it's so uninhabited. Coming off of this area right here, this door does open, and look, it's that one little ladder that we haven't gone up yet from the maintenance area. So, and that's pretty much the whole purpose of this room. So you do have multiple access points to there, to the living quarters. So we'll go back up this ladder and we'll take the other lift down, which I don't think we took yet. And yeah, that's pretty, yeah, we'll take this lift. That's pretty much the Starfarer here, folks. It's a large ship, but it's just, I don't know, direction wise, it's hard to kind of figure out sometimes where you're at. Like if you're right here, you're like, oh, where do I go? Where do I need to go to cargo? Do I need to go to maintenance? How can I get to the bridge? It's kind of hard to figure out unless you're on the ship all the time. So you would definitely go down the stairs from the living quarters, and then you would make your way into the bridge. By the way, 6 escape pods here for the bridge, because there are, which is kind of odd because there's only 5 stations in the bridge. There's the captain, the 2 pilots, and the 2 support seats. Not sure why they have 6 escape pods. Maybe there's just that extra one that's for the captain's friend. Anyway, what an interesting interior tour. I don't think I've ever been attacked by pirates twice during an interior tour. That's definitely something new for me. So the MISC Starfarer, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that tour. The next part of the video is going to be on some first-person dogfighting. And then we're going to go actually load up a couple vehicles in here, see what that looks like, if it fits its ships. Then we're going to load up some cargo in here and see what that looks like when the cargo bay is full. We'll probably go actually do a cargo run, and I'll show you how tight a landing can be. This ship is not unmaneuverable. You can maneuver it. It's still pretty sluggish because of how big it is. Then we're gonna take a look after that at the Gemini Starfarer. And we might, when we do the chase camera dogfighting, we are going to get, it's going to be on the Gemini. So we'll take a look at the Gemini. It's the exact same ship, same layout and everything, but we'll take a look at how that looks like. Then we'll do the loadout with its different kind of paint schemes and stuff like that. There are 3 different paint schemes for this, 5 in total, with the 2 base models. And, There is no brochure on this spacecraft. There is a small, about 4.5-minute video from back in 2016, which has some crew members interacting and stuff that was made from RSI, Cloud Imperium. So we'll take a look at that. And we'll go into the chase camera dogfighting, and we'll wrap up the video. So before we go, we can see that our maximum velocity on this ship in space is 888. 888 meters per second. As we slow down, we can see our retro thrusters are there on the front, and we'll get our SCM speed. Notice it's taking a while to slow down, so we will help it along if we can. It's a big ship. It's a lot of mass to speed up and to slow down. There we go. Another thing I don't like about the HUDs is this bar from this is 888. This is going to be like 88. So this red spans about 800 meters a second, but it does it in these weird increments, and I just don't like it. I would like it if it's more evenly spaced. Okay, there we are. Oh, SCM speed 85. So 85 is our SCM speed, if anybody is interested in that. So now just hang on and we'll get into some trouble. All right, folks, so here is my target in front of me. And I'm going to adjust my throttle to go just a little bit above SCM. It is a Drake Cutlass Black. I moved around some multifunction display stuff, and this is a fairly dark asteroid field. So I'm going to, because I have capital class shields, I am going to bump up my energy to my lasers a little bit. I know Cutlass Black eventually will get me, but he's got to go through some pretty heavy shields first. So as we get near him, we'll go ahead and fire. I was not able to protect against that missile. Kind of a downside of the Starfarer. It does move fairly sluggishly, but it does pack quite a bit of firepower. This is, you know, single player first person combat. Nobody's in my turrets, which would add a lot to my defense. One benefit I do have is I'm going slower, so it's a little bit easier for me to maneuver. But he if he does it right, he can outfly me pretty easily. And there goes the Cutlass Black. And his friends did show up. Hopefully there's no M50s here. Oh, couple missiles inbound. And I think all those missiles did miss me. Targets should still be in front of me. There they are. So now you can see the Aurora LN is in front of me. See if we can take this guy out fairly quick. Okay. He went out pretty quick. You notice he didn't take too much of my shields down. The next target is another Aurora LN. Using Afterburner a little bit to help me maneuver. And I think we'll take this guy out real quick. Okay, so that was a medium risk target mission. They did take my front shield down. Pretty good with some sustained fire. The regular Starfarer does not have a very good hull as far as armor is concerned. Not that armor is implemented yet, but the Starfarer Gemini will have much more armor as it is made to go out with the UAE Navy and be its tanker. The regular Starfarer, not so much. It is much more to help like civilians and stuff. So there is some first-person dogfighting. Let's, I think we're going to go down on Ida. If we can, grab some gas, see if we can fit some ground vehicles in the back, see what that looks like, grab some cargo, go trade it. So stay tuned for that. Oh, actually, Ida's right here. Maybe we'll do a little flying in here onto Ida. And we'll see what that looks like with the Starfarer going through atmosphere. That's not Area 18 filled with buildings. Ida only has a couple places to go. The first one being Woodruff. I thought there was another one, though. Let's see. I'd like to do it in the light if possible, but that may not be. Oh, there's another one over there, which looks like it's in the dark. Yeah, that's Ryder. So let's try Woodruff, and we'll see. I may be completely wrong. I do have a TS2 in this Starfarer for a quantum drive. And the main reason I do that, one, it's faster and we only have the Stanton system. If we were doing stuff in Pyro, I would definitely not have a TS2 because I'd probably run out of gas pretty quick, quantum fuel. And it's a lot faster to spool up and spool down. But with the, you'll see when I do the loadout with the Starfarer Gemini, I'll be using its stock Pontes quantum drive. All right, so there's Woodruff. Look how beautiful Ida looks in the sunlight. Looks really nice. Not sure what all those little purple graphical artifacts are, but kind of weird. But topographically, Ida's got a lot going on. Lots of little mountain ranges and stuff like that. This could possibly be a ship that you could load up some rocks into and mine. And there's a bunch of possibilities for utility. You know, you could definitely do some cargo stuff with it. You could do the refueling stuff that once that gameplay loops in, you'll be able to do basic mining stuff, I would think. I mean, we could scan just with everything else, right? We can still do that. So make sure we're headed in the right direction. Woodruff. And I kind of like flying in to places like this because this is such a beautiful game. It's pretty amazing to look at. Just as we get closer, just how detailed everything is. These handcrafted moons and planets are just a kind of a spectacle. So even out the ship here. Here's Woodruff. Cut off the actually, let's go to SCM speed. Go ahead and cut off the auto throttles. We will drop our landing gear. And of course, we're going to come into the big pad because we're in a big ship. Pretty sure it fits. We shouldn't have any problem fitting on this pad. I'll turn the lights on just to show you kind of what that looks like, and we'll spin around to the front once I land. I'll show you where the lights are at. Okay, everything is starting to spawn in here at Woodruff. The ship handles fairly well. You can see it's windy, but it does handle pretty well. It's a lot better than the Reclaimer was. I'll tell you that. We know our cargo ramp's in the back, so we want to have a lot of room for it. So I think we're good right about there. So we land. And okay, we are down. So just to show you it's hard to see, the lights are on the side of the cockpit, kind of where the guns are. So I turn them on and off. That's where the lights are. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some, we'll get gas. Apparently we need to repair just a little bit as well. And restock. Not sure what we're restocking. So I didn't shoot it. Oh, we're doing trap and flares is what we're stocking. So I didn't shoot any missiles, even though it thinks we have missiles. So, okay. So I think it works now where you can get out of the pilot seat while you are restocking. We're going to find out. Now, should we go out the normal ramp? Probably. Should we go out the docking port? No, but are we going to do it? Yeah, we're going to do it. So we'll go down this door. Open up. Go. Oh no, that's the refueling platform. That's not where we want to go. See, I'm still getting confused. Oh, one thing you can do on this ship is you can hop over the railing. Just like that. And hop down. I mean, I hurt my legs, but hop down right into the lower deck. That is a thing. I wish there was kind of a ladder to do that. I think that would be cool. All right, on the docking port, it should show the ground. Yay, there's the ground. And we'll close that up. So you can see that is right under the bridge, basically. So that is where that docking port is. I'm going to go ahead and open up. Hopefully no one is over here to steal my ship, but I'm not Cobra, so I think we'll be okay. We're going to open up the ramp. And I'll be back with a vehicle, and we'll find out if it fits as ships. Stay tuned. All right, folks, so we're here with If It Fits Its Ships, and I have an Ursa rover pulled out going into the MISC Starfarer. And this is the third biggest ground vehicle in the game right now. The biggest being the Nova Tank Tonk, and the second biggest being the Anvil Ballista. This is the RSI Ursa rover. It's bigger than obviously the Dragonflies and the Nox, and it's bigger than the Cyclones. So, the Starfarer, having a rather large cargo area, should be able to fit this with no problem. We'll see if there's enough clearance here. So, with the ramp here, can't really get the Ursa rover in. So that's kind of an issue. I wonder if we would have the opportunity to back it in. Let's find out. Because I was thinking, you know, maybe this could be also have a role as an exploration ship. A lot of exploration is being able to have the right vehicle for it. Okay. Okay. Let's see if it'll actually back in. It looks like the gun. Now I hit P to move my weapons off. And it looks like we did get the Ursa rover loaded in. So, but that's the key, folks. You gotta turn your weapons off and take that down. And so, yeah, an Ursa rover fits in here. Obviously, there is a ton of room all around in this ship where you could put Dragonflies or Cyclones, or you could stack this up a whole bunch of different ways. So you can get an Ursa rover in. And I'm not going to go ahead and bother loading anything else because I know those smaller vehicles will fit, and I know for sure if a Ursa rover barely fits, then the Ballista and the Tonk will definitely not fit. So with that, let's go load up some cargo onto the ship and see what the ship looks like full of cargo, and we'll go do a cargo run. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, so we're here at Woodruff, and we're going to fill up the MISC Starfarer. I hate that brightness with whatever they have here, which looks like the highest price stuff they have is Astatine, which looks like 28 SCU. So that's, we'll call that 22,000 Alpha UEC. And then the next highest price unit they have is Barrel. Looks like it'll fill up the rest of the ship. And 106, we'll call it 107,000. So 129,000 alpha UEC to fill up the Starfarer with these two items. Okay, so 129,000. Whoa! Just want to make sure the ship is full. There's no available cargo space, so we are full. And we're gonna go see what that looks like in the ship. See how much we can make off of that. I mean, as a decent kind of cargo farrier. I believe when it was introduced, it was the biggest cargo ship in the game in 2.3. I'm not sure if the Caterpillar was out yet. I don't think it was. Caterpillar has what, about 500 and some cargo units. This guy has almost 300. So it can carry quite a bit of cargo. So we can already see that this thing is just loaded up. There's 3 sections of our cargo bay. Close the door. Super windy out on Ida. So we can see how the cargo is stacked here, like all the way to the ceiling. It's kind of crazy, and I'm sure we can still walk through it. Yep, still walking through all that stuff. But yeah, that's crazy how it's all stacked up. It feels like it's gonna fall. And we can see our astatine over here on the very top. The rest of it is barrel. So very interesting. And remember, we have to use the right ladder well here. To get up to our bridge, but it should be a cool view from the catwalk up here with all of our cargo in here. Yeah, look at that. Stacked up almost all the way to the ceiling. So super cool. Let's get on the bridge. Now we're near Hurston and Lorville. And I have such great luck flying into Lorville. Let me tell you guys. I think there's really no other place to trade this. I could go to Microtech, I guess, but we're going to go to Lorville. I wish Olisar would let me actually trade stuff, but it wouldn't let me the other time, last time I was there. So, okay, we're ready to take off. And this one was easy because there's low gravity on this moon. So we will retract our landing gear, engage our forward engines. Even throw a little afterburner in there just to get us going. And we are taking off from Woodruff. We'll do a kind of a slow roll. You see how its atmosphere flying isn't the greatest. It's a pretty sluggish ship. Ooh. Pretty sluggish, maybe an understatement. Yeah, the yaw speed just is not enough for me. As we're still yawing. Okay. It's going to be fun to land this thing. Okay, so let's head off into space, everybody. And I'll see you in the atmosphere of Hurston. All right, folks, so here we are at beautiful Hurston. Beautifully polluted Hurston. We are going to do kind of a time lapse on this. And so I'll see you at the trade terminal at the Central Business District. Okay, folks, so we're here at the trade terminal. And we're going to sell our barrel for... okay, 114. We'll round up, called 115. We still haven't made our money back. 129 is what we need to hit to at least make our money back. So we'll say 115, and then the acetine for we'll call it 25,000. So what? 140,000 for 129,000. So basically, somewhere between 11 to 12,000 alpha UVC on that trade run, which isn't too bad considering it was from a moon of Hurston to Lorville. So take out the fuel costs and that stuff. I mean, you're looking at $10,000 profit in, legitimately 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes tops. That's not too bad. And I could rinse and repeat and do that again. Kind of boring, but it does allow for a okay production of money. I can't wait till the real cargo refactor becomes a real thing. So, folks, that wraps up the initial review for the base model MISC Starfarer. We are going to head on over to town and get something to eat and drink, and then we're going to pull out the Gemini Starfarer, and we're going to do a little bit of flying around on that guy, show you the differences between that ship and the regular Starfarer, and then we'll push on into the loadout section. So I hope you're sticking with us so far. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate your viewership. We'll see you in just a second. Hey, everybody. So we are back. And we're here at Lorville. I just pulled out the MISC Starfarer Gemini, maybe what you are actually here to see, down at Hangar 5 there. This part of the video is not going to be as long as the first part of the Starfarer, because this really is an identical ship. It's just the military version of it. The MISC Starfarer Gemini, also known as the G2M Gemini or the Star G, is the military variant of the Starfarer, co-produced with Aegis Dynamics. It is mainly used to support supply chains and the UEE frontline operations, as it has the capacity to support a squadron of Hornets on a multi-system combat assignment. Remember, this is a refueler. It trades some cargo capacity and maneuverability in exchange for reinforced armor, increased shieldings, more powerful engines, and stronger versions of the 3 manned turrets, which is not true. There's only 1 manned turret that's stronger. The Gemini also includes an optional missile pod, which I do have equipped, which can be swapped for the fuel intake unit on the ship's nose, which is what the Starfarer had, the fuel intake unit. So I think the Starfarer can actually get refueled with the fuel intake unit, I think. I'm not sure how all that's going to work. Missile pods can be mounted to either Starfarer variant. That is true. But here we go, another Starfarer. And you see right up front all those missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's only 8 though. Maybe there is 9. Maybe I'm wrong. You can see it is very military green, but other than that, it's pretty much the exact same ship. We will run around to the backside of it. I guess it's, it's going to be more military. It's just going to have military components that it comes with stock. It's going to have those missiles on the front, and it is, looking at this, it's the same, right? It's also going to have more armor and stuff like that. From what I see here online, other than the components that are more military, the crew for this is not 1 to 7; it's 1 to 6. It's a large ship. It's a Starfarer variant of a large ship. We will close this rear hatch. It is flight ready. You can buy the ship for 6.1 million Alpha UEC, really 6.2 at Lorville, at the New Deal Shipyard. You can rent it for 123,830 Alpha UEC, or 61,915 rec per day. Claim time is 45 minutes. Expedite time is about 7:30. Expedite fees about 11,000. You can buy the ship for $340 US. It is a time limited sale, so you can only get it at certain times. This Starfarer is part of like Invictus and stuff because it does help support the fleet. Originally, this ship was, whoa, what am I going? This ship was $240. So it has jumped up in, whoa, every time I go up that ladder, it has jumped up in price about $100. So if you got it early on, good for you. Now, remember, just like the same as the other Starfarer, if you see this screen and you see ESC01, you know this is the bridge. I guess get used to it. You can see even the internal paint scheme is OD green, olive drab green, very military. But it has the same layout here. There's 5 seats in the bridge with the captain's seat and the pilot and the co-pilot seat. So let's, before Lorville stores us here, which I have a feeling they will do if I don't get a move on, we will go ahead and ask for takeoff here. And here we go. Here's an exterior view of the Starfarer Gemini, or the Star G. Due to the unexpected success of the Starfarer as a military support ship, MISC has licensed the Starfarer design to Aegis Dynamics, which produces the Starfarer Gemini under the contract for the UAE military. MISC builds the basic chassis of all the Starfarers, and the chassis then will be shipped off to Aegis for completion. So this is kind of a mixed bag here. You could tell it's very MISC, very Aegis kind of together. Let's go ahead and lift off. Got to use a little bit of afterburner there. We will go ahead and cycle our landing gear. You know, Hurston and Lorville, known for closing those doors on us. Lots of sun right there. And in this view, we'll use a little bit of burner to get ourselves up. And we will engage our cruise control. Get us out of this city. Very bright in this view of the city. We'll try to go ahead and turn us around here and boost up our throttles a little bit and try to get out of atmosphere. Really, I'd like to see the timing it takes to get out of atmosphere here. Considering Lorville has a pretty dense atmosphere and it's pretty heavy on gravity from my experience. Don't know what that was all about. Okay, let's just... Everything's going crazy here. Okay. Calm yourself down, Fist. Get your pitch ladder in the right position. Sometimes it can be difficult with the wind in these different places. And it does help to use some thrust. You can see my vector indicator down there moving up around my screen, and it's helping me align the ship to go basically straight up. There we go. And we used all of our boosts, which is okay because it's rechargeable. And we're headed up and out of the atmosphere here. As you can see, space is dead ahead for us. We're almost at a 90 degrees. Leaving Hurston and Lorville. Wow, it does look pretty, even though it's all like super polluted. Not sure where the sun just went, but gosh, just sometimes this game just blows me away with its graphics, as I'm sure it does the rest of you guys. There's the sun. Okay. Giving us a good view on the front of our ship. Very pretty picture here of the Starfarer. Maybe we'll do another screenshot moment here as we are getting out of the atmosphere. Boom, shakalaka. Maybe that's too high. I like that. Okay. Anyway, folks, let's head on up now. What we're gonna do is we're basically just gonna get into space here, and we'll do what we a little bit of what we did with the original Starfarer. We'll just take a walk around, make sure everything is the same with this ship, and then we'll go on like a first-person combat mission. We'll go over like the main difference, which is really the missiles, and then we'll just go from there. From there, we'll make our way to the loadout, the commercial, and then we'll do some chase camera stuff with this ship because it is, you know, it's more the military variant. Okay, so we made it to Everest Harbor. Let me get ourselves on the correct course here because we don't want to run into anything. Well, that just happened. Okay. We'll just cruise at our SCM speed, not trying to take on too much, you know, velocity or anything. There we go. No, turn the quantum drive off. Thank you. Okay, let's hop out of this seat. As you can see, the cockpit is the exact same as any other MISC Starfarer. Now that the lights are actually on this ship, you can see there's a lot of color differences really in this ship as compared to the regular Starfarer. A lot less chrome in this guy, a lot less blue, a lot more green. As you can see, the cargo bay over there. We will go ahead and we'll take the stairwell up. Exactly the same as the original Starfarer. You can see that the living quarters are that way. Maintenance and cargo are this way, so we're going to head this way towards maintenance and cargo. Show you that these hallways are indeed the same. Come on, there we go. Okay. Here we are pretty much at midships with, you know, here's this engine over here and the unusable space and our gravity generator over here and all that jazz. As we are going to continue heading aft, we will basically go towards the turret. You can see this is the same view from the other ship. We'll go ahead and hop into this turret. No, thank you. Now it says in the basically the description that it has upgraded turrets, but I believe the rear turrets are size 3 on both versions of the ships. And the Gemini, yeah, I did just verify, does have 9 missiles. So that is what is up front. So let's power on. Oh, we don't have we're in an armistice zone, so I can't there we go. Now we have power, so I can shoot. Okay. So let's shoot at Hurston Dynamics building. I wouldn't be surprised if they got mad. So you can see these are Panther repeaters. Great shot of Everest Harbor there. And us firing out of the starboard turret in the back. So yeah, Gemini Starfarer from this view. Great screenshot right there. Again, I'm getting some really good ones today. That's a good one too. I do like the way these space stations are designed. I, however, do have a affinity for Port Olisar. So, okay, so let's hop out of this turret. Keep on going with our tour. Flip myself upside down. Boom. So you know the other side, because this is a symmetrical ship, the other side is going to be exactly the same. So we're not going to worry about going down to the other side. The starboard side does have the extra stuff in the little crawl spaces down there. But come on, door. There we go. From the gravity generator here, this is what I'm assuming it is. We do have this weird little room here where we have our elevator, so we can go down to the... Okay, where's my call? There it is. We can go down to the refueling platform. And there's my elevator. So there we go. We're on now on the refueling platform. And there's good old Hurston where we just came from in the background here. And up up ahead of us being Everest Harbor. We can just see it there with this amount of flickering lights. Okay. And we will go ahead and use our lift, go back into the ship, go back this way, and probably head up to the living quarters at this point. I'm getting more familiar with the ship as the video goes along, obviously. Okay, so we'll just take the door here. We can see the lift in front of us. There we go. It did work. Okay. So now it's all chrome again, right? Like the original Starfarer. So a lot more like the original Starfarer. That's a crazy bug. There's no table, there's no benches, there's no galley seat, and everything is just super stainless steel chromed out. So very, very odd. The captain's room is about the same. There's no chair, but there's some additional green lighting here. Captain still has this crazy blanket and his full exposed bathroom where everybody can see that stuff. I think the Carrack probably has, and the Hammerhead have the best captain's rooms. Now, one of the main differences in this Gemini variant with the Star G is this turret, the forward turret, the top turret. In the regular Starfarer, it is a size 4 guns. In this version, it is size 5s. You can see I have the Galdarine CF557 repeaters on here. What? Did I just not turn power on? There we go. We'll let those get charged up. See, they're at 0-0. I've had to do this before, but they move, but nothing happens. So I've had to power off, and then I've had to power on again. And see, now my shot count goes up. It's only 113, which is a lot for a turret, but they are size 5s, and so there's 2 size 5s there. They shoot slower than the 4s, but they are more powerful. So let's look at that from this viewpoint. So very powerful turret. Where's Everest Harbor? Should we shoot Everest Harbor? Probably not. So a very powerful turret there as we're going to flip out of the turret. So that's one of the big differences. Let's make our way down to the bridge. Okay, we'll take the other elevator. You don't have to take the elevator. You could just fall down the stairs or fall down the elevator. It's not going to kill you if you do that. See, I didn't even take any leg damage or anything like that. But from here, hopefully you don't get confused. You need to take the stairs down. Because the bridge is not up high, it's in the middle. Find our markers here, and we'll head back up to the bridge. I do like the grays and the blacks as part of this whole color scheme. All right, come on now. There we go. Okay. Let's first off, let's switch on over to missile operator mode. You can see we have 9 arrestor 3s on this ship. So that is the... I did not mean to fire that missile. Of course I did, but I didn't mean to. So let's see, and let's check, see if that missile actually fired. Yep, you can see that fired from slot 1. Very top left one there. And of course, the pilot still has his 4 size 4s, so still a very powerful ship weapons wise. Let's put our target status up here. Okay, guys, we are going to go do a. I don't know why my shields are down to that low. That's very odd why the shields were down that low. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Unless I was getting shot at. which I don't have a crime stat, so maybe someone was shooting at me. I don't know. We're going to go take a mission, show you what the ship looks like in combat. First person, you know, from the pilot's perspective. And then we'll move on to the loadout, so stay tuned. All right, folks, so we are back. We are headed towards a very high-risk target. Hopefully I survive this one. The ship, it does turn like a slug, so it feels, just from yesterday when I filmed the other part of the video, it feels less maneuverable than the original Starfarer, and that maybe it's supposed to. There is our target. I am just a tad above SCM. I'll probably go a little bit less. It's going to be hard to outturn our opponents. I mean, we'll see what happens. We're definitely going into missile operator mode. It is an Anvil Hurricane. So knowing that an Anvil Hurricane isn't like real huge on armor, I mean, it's supposed to be a heavy fighter, but I want to get to about here. So he definitely shot a missile at me. I shot some countermeasures. Let's see what happens. I'm going to shoot a couple more at him. No, there we go. I was targeting my own missile. So, using the abilities of the Gemini, I want to try to use the missiles when I can. We'll see how much he can do against this armor, or I'm sorry, against these shields, which is probably pretty well. Considering I end up overcorrecting a lot to try to turn. I think with a turret in here, I would be a lot better off. Come on. Oh, I got 3 ships going at me right now. Yeah, see, he's able to outfly me pretty darn easy. And I'm actually just trying to get in so I can actually get a shot. I'm going to increase my shields a little bit. I might have to do some different kind of tactics because he's able to outmaneuver me pretty easily. Yeah, and he blew me up pretty easy. So you can see that even someone with class 3 shields, boom, I got smoked pretty quick because I just couldn't turn well enough. So that goes to show you these new, the way they do the mechanics now, it's a lot harder to do the harder dogfighting missions, especially without friends. I think if I had someone in that forward turret and a couple people in my back turrets, I wouldn't have had an issue at all of doing this stuff. So with that being said, and my failure to do this mission, we did a medium risk target earlier. That went really well. This mission did not go really well, but hey, that happens. So if you're going to play in these big ships, you know, don't take on very high risk targets, I guess. If it was a Valkyrie, because it turned slower, I think I'd have been better off, but oh well. Hey, even I get killed sometimes, guys. And even in a Starfarer with increased shield regeneration. So that being said, I'm going to go claim my ship, and we'll move on to the loadout section of the video. So sorry for that disappointment. Stay tuned, and we'll get revenge on those very high-risk targets when I do a mission with like trying to get a full crew of people into the Starfarer, and we'll see how well they fare with more people in the ship and big turrets manned in the top and in the back, and plus the pilot guns and all that fun stuff. So thanks for watching so far. I have to laugh at myself a little bit at least, and we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, folks, so here we are at the loadout portion of the video at Urkel.games, the DPS calculator live. And 3.14.1, here is the options for the stock Starfarer. We can see first, let's go over stats real quick. Heavy refueling ship, it's a support career, ship size is 5. The hull hit points is 37,900. Let's switch real quick over to the Gemini. The Gemini's hull is still 37,900. Mass 3.5 million kilograms. The mass of the Starfarer Gemini is just a little bit more. The regular Starfarer, the speed is 85 meters a second for SCM. Starfarer Gemini is 88. The Starfarer's maximum speed is 888 meters a second. And the Starfarer Gemini is 889. So just a little bit there. The regular Starfarer's controls are 20 degrees pitch, 20 degrees yaw, 35 roll. Starfarer Gemini is exactly the same. You can see the hydrogen capacity of the Starfarer is just a little bit less than the Gemini. It's about 7 million liters. The Starfarer Gemini is 7.15 million liters. And the quantum fuel and the cargo grids are exactly the same between the two. So, that being said, with the regular Starfarer, the default loadout is 4 M6A laser cannons, 2 on each side, just like the Freelancer would have, right? They're size, actually they're bigger than the Freelancer. Freelancer is size 3, these are size 4. So, but then there's 3-man turrets for the regular Starfarer. They're, the topmost turret is 2 size 4 guns, and the 2 rear turrets are 2 size 3 guns. Notice there's nothing else on here as far as weapons go. That gives us a DPS of 2520 with 840 alpha. Now switching over to the Gemini, notice it looks like it's the same. For pilot guns, it is the same. Sorry. So back to the Starfarer. Pilot guns are going to be the same either way we go. The turret guns are 3280 DPS with 400 alpha. Switching over to the Gemini, we're at 4025 DPS with 780 alpha. And the reason is because this topmost turret is has size 5 guns, so that's one of the main weapon differences there. And of course the Gemini here, which is on screen, it also has a missile pod holding 9 size 3 missiles. It is kind of it's a swappable thing with the fuel pod, but it is bespoke to the Starfarer series. You can't put it on any other ships as far as I know, and it holds 9 size 3 missiles. So back to the original Starfarer here. First thing I would do, even though the cannons seem to have a little more DPS, I don't like their fire rate. So I'm going to go up with, well, it looks like the size 4s, the repeaters have the higher DPS, probably because of the fire rate. But I would use attrition 4s or 447s either way. It really doesn't matter. The 447s are a little bit cheaper, so we can go ahead and go to that. Because the DPS is the same in 314. With the man turrets, I would leave it stock as is. They are all CCF 447s and 337s. No need to change any of that stuff. With the Starfarer Gemini, I would again switch over to CF 447s or attritions, either way. And then I would leave the turrets stock as is with 557s on the top front turret, and on the back turrets 337s. And then I like the Arrestor 3s. They are cross-section missiles, 4211 damage on them. You could go with EM missiles, they're a little bit easier to spoof, or the Chaos 3 infrareds, but I like sticking with the Arrestor 3s. They seem to work the best for me. So that is weapon-wise. Nothing changes. I mean, you get a little more pilot DPS because of the switch to the repeaters, but really it's very minuscule. So on the original Starfarer, we can see that the shields, all the shields here, they are all industrial grade C components, as well as the quantum drive. So really in 314, the shields don't matter. All the shields have the exact same hit points. They're all for grades for this size of shield, a size 3 capital class shield. They're all 100,000 hit points. If it were a different patch, like 313 and possibly 315, I would switch over to 100, or I'm sorry, I would switch to the Parapat. which seems it's the industrial grade A. It recharges a little faster from EM knockdown, stuff like that. That's what I would go with. For a power plant, I don't love the Ginzel. It gives us a low amount of power, although we're barely using any of the power. I like to use the JS500. It's maybe a little bit less power than the Ginzel, but it does recharge faster, and it's still plenty of power. We're not even using a quarter of the power. For the coolers, I like to obviously go over to the industrial grade A chill maxes from the grade Cs. They give us a little more cooling, but they are very expensive. You have no reason to upgrade your coolers for this ship, but if you're going to, this is what I would do for maximum loadout. And the quantum drive, let's be honest, the comma industrial grade C, it's very slow. It's very efficient, but it's very slow. So to go from PO to Microtech, it's going to take you 16 minutes. That's a long time to just sit there and do nothing. I guess you could explore your ship. You could go with a little bit faster Agni drive for the industrial, and you'll get there about 30 seconds faster. But what I would suggest, just for the Stanton system and only the Stanton system, I would go with the TS2 or the Pontes. You could go with the Balandin. It's fine, but you're not really gaining much. The Pontes is cheaper. If you really want to go the fastest you can go, you get a TS2, and you go from PO to Microtech in just under 5.5 minutes. So that is that basic loadout of high components for the Starfarer, the stock Starfarer. Let's throw all our items into the cart, see how much they cost. Let's do one-stop shopping over at Microtech at New Babbage, so we can get everything in the same spot. You can get most of this at Area 18 as well. If everything was to be purchased at New Babbage, it would be 1,053,152 Alpha UEC, which is quite a high price for an upgrade. In 3.14, which is almost out of here, we don't know shields and stuff. We don't know what that's going to yield. So you don't need the coolers. I can tell you that. You could go with the stock coolers. This is just a maximum loadout. So if you take off the stock coolers, the price drops down to just under 500,000 Alpha UEC. And that gives you a better shields with the parapet. I'm hoping in a future patch. Definitely gives you a better power plant with the JS500. I would still recommend going with the 447s. Or you have to buy 4 of them for your weapons. But I would say the absolute minimum build on this ship, you can get rid of the shields, and this is in 314. Get rid of the shields, get rid of the power plant. You need to get a TS2. The comma drive is way too slow, and the 447s are better than they're better and faster than the cannons. The minimum build for the ship, 169,352 Alpha UEC. So there you go. That is for the regular MISC Starfarer. Let's switch on over to the Gemini. With the Gemini, it comes with a industrial grade 3 shield. Again, I would upgrade that to a parapet. You don't have to, because in 314 all the shields are the same again. You do get military grade C for the rest of the components, so the power plant is fine. You don't need to upgrade it. I personally like the JS500s, so I would upgrade that. The coolers, again, you don't need to touch them. There's plenty of cooling in this ship, but if I were going to upgrade them to Chill Max, which gives me 7,200 more cooling per second. So, and then, of course, it comes with a Pontes military grade C quantum drive, which is fine. You don't need to upgrade that. If you absolutely wanted to get a TS2 and go the fastest you can, do it. But if not, this drive is fine. It is a military drive. It's really good. So let's add our items to our cart. We'll check our cart here. To fully upgrade this ship, including the weapons, the coolers, the power plant, and the shields, we're looking at just shy of 1 million Alpha UEC. This might be a build for a different patch, but in 314, you don't need to worry about the shields. You don't need to worry about the power plant. You don't need to worry about the coolers. You really just need to worry about the weapons, upgrading to 4 extra CF447s, which if you were to buy them in New Babbage, you'd be at 75,752 Alpha UEC. So with that being said, that is the the loadout here for the Starfarer. Now, there are a couple more things here. There are paints for the Starfarer. And by the way, there is no stealth Starfarer. Okay, your EM in this loadout for the Starfarer is 58,000. They're going to see you coming from a mile away, so don't bother putting stealth components on here. But there are some paints in here. The first paint we're going to talk about is the Starfarer Black livery, which you can pick up. All these paints for the Starfarer are extremely expensive, so don't pick them up just willy-nilly. But if you want this black and chrome color scheme for the Starfarer, you can pick it up at Area 18 at Dumpers Depot for 332,500 Alpha UEC. Very expensive, but it does look really cool. It's like this dark black Starfarer black livery. The next livery we're going to go up to is the Starfarer light gray livery. Let me know if you like this light gray color scheme in the comments below. Who knows? This is a little bit more expensive, I think, or it's right around the same price. Area 18, Dumpers Depot, 336,000 Alpha UEC for the Starfarer light gray livery. And the last livery for the Starfarer series right now is the Starfarer Storm Surge livery. This is kind of those kind of weird bluish different blue colors for the Starfarer. It goes for 325,000 Alpha UEC, and you can pick that up at Dumpers Depot at Area 18. So that concludes the paints and the liveries for the Starfarer series. We're going to move on to the Starfarer Commercial. It is about 4.5-5 minutes long or so, and there's no talking or anything. It's not a real commercial. It's just kind of, hey, this is the Starfarer. Here's a bunch of NPCs in here doing different stuff. It is by Star Citizen. And after that, we'll get into the chase cam dogfighting, and we'll hope to see you there. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching so far. All right, guys. So here is the conclusion for the video on the MISC Starfarer and the Starfarer Gemini as we take the long way around to exit the ship. It is a really interesting, unique, and pretty awesome ship. I wish it actually had a role to play in today's version of Star Citizen. Unfortunately, it does not. And that's okay, because it will in the future. And I think doing the refueling and stuff and doing the support roles is going to be a pretty darn good gig with Star Citizen. This ship does have a lot of cargo capacity, so right now it could perform a role of carrying your cargo around, carrying vehicles around. I think it's too big to do any type of mining with. It's just unmaneuverable. It's not a great ship for any type of combat missions, but it's a good people carrier too. It has this really cool and aggressive look, which I really like. The way it stands right now in the hangar is just really kind of badass, and I'm excited for the future of this ship and what it can do, considering how old it is. Coming out in Alpha 2.3 in the 2016 timeframe, this ship's been around for a long time, and it still looks good, and I think it still is competitive with some of the other bigger ships in the game. And at one time, guys, this was the biggest ship in the game. This was a monumental achievement. Some of the cool tech that's on here is being able to be held down by gravity while you're on the catwalks out there by the fuel sponsons, and just the immense size. There's a lot of stuff about the Starfarer in the game lore-wise. There's a lot of like Starfarer wrecks and stuff you can go visit, and the derelict missions and stuff like that. So just really cool ship. I don't know if it's worth the money right now, but if you're interested in this type of gameplay in the future, maybe it is worth the money. Remember, it is about $100 more than its original cost. So this may be a ship at 6 million Alpha UEC that's pretty easily obtainable in game after grinding for a little while and being able to do missions with it. Would I recommend the Gemini over the regular Starfarer? It depends on what you want to do. If you are more of a combat oriented org and you need more armor, I mean, this is later on in the game, obviously. You want some more weapons, you want missiles, then get the Gemini, the G-Star. If you are looking for more of a true like refueling type of vessel, then get the regular MISC Starfarer. I think the paints are way too expensive for this ship. I mean, they are significantly higher priced than most components and stuff in the game. I get it's a big ship, but come on, it's paint. It should be less expensive than 3 quantum drives that'll power this thing. So I don't know. I think the jury's still out on the MISC Starfarer. Do I think it's an awesome ship? I think every ship's an awesome ship, except for a rare few. Would I be doing this type of gameplay in real life? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would enjoy doing this. I think I would have a good time. I definitely think Jawa would like it. So maybe give it a chance, maybe not. I would love to hear your comments in the comments section below of what you think of the MISC Starfarer. Do you own one? Have you used it? What do you use it for? What do you think the future of gameplay is going to be like with it? We know it's probably going to be a prominent piece of hardware that you're going to need out there once Pyro comes out, because we're going to need to be able to refuel people, all ships. So who knows? I think the future is pretty bright for the MISC Starfarer. So thank you guys all for watching. If you're interested in supporting the channel, check out our website, fistingjawa.org, where we have our links for our Discord, where we love to talk to everybody, hang out. You can be in our streams, be in some of our videos. We have a merchandise store link at the website. If you're interested in really helping us being able to pay our bills, we do have a Patreon with a $3, $5, $10 option, and you do get exclusive stuff for Patreon. Most of it's through the Discord and the Patreon page, but you get first look at videos, you get early access, we talk with you more, you get to be filming in a lot more of the videos, and once we get enough patrons, we'll be able to do Patreon only streams. So there'll definitely be some advantages to hanging out with us. Anyway, guys, at a minimum, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to the video. It really helps the algorithm here on YouTube. That subscribe button, we're on the push to 1,000. We're almost to 750. That's our third milestone out of 4. If you guys could share and subscribe, that would be awesome. I appreciate your help. Thank you for watching the video. And remember, if the fist don't get you, the lightning bolt will. Good night, Stanton.